Hey guys, it's Bina, and welcome to the Totem Shaman guide for Season 2. This is going to be the update for Season 2, Tombs of the Erased, and we're going to go over what changed in my Totems build, which I have played quite a bit, actually. You know, I've played this build since, for many patches, and in this season particularly, one of the main thing that had the main weakness of the build, which was its single target, is pretty much fixed by using Storm Totem as your main single target skill. So this is an update I could have done in last patch, but last patch we had Upheaval Totem that could buff Storm Totem quite a bit more. So there was no real reason to go on Spriggan form and buff them like that, because going in human form, spamming Storm Totem and Upheaval Totem, buffing your Storm Totem multiplicatively with no limit was absolutely busted. But now they put a cap on this for 4 stacks maximum, so Upheaval Totem was nerfed. So this enables a build where you go into Spriggan form, spam your Thorn Totems, which gives you Rage back, and then spec into Storm Totem with Gathering Storm, which Storm Totem will benefit from that tree, and then use Excited Bolts to use your mana pool as a more multiplier of damage for the Storm Bolts, which your Storm Totem cast, and then you refill your Rage with your Thorn Totems, which also deal damage, and so you're able to leverage another more multiplier, which does a significant amount of damage. So this build got way better, but not only this, but we also have access to Mantle of the Pale Ox, which gives us another layer of damage reduction on top of a increased health, a big roll of increased health, strength, movement speed. Just amazing item for the build. So now that we've seen some gameplay, we've seen a little bit of bossing, let's go into the build guide directly. So this build is a permanent Spriggan form. You can go back into human form if you do want to do so and spam your Thorn Totems in human form. So just to keep in mind, the totems in human form, they are not the same as the totems you have in Spriggan form. In Spriggan form, those are healing totems that also cast thorns, while in human form, these are just regular Thorn Totems. So you can have up to your limit of healing totems, which will be casting thorns, up to your limit of Thorn Totems, and you also have access to Storm Totem as your big single target skill. The build requires you to use Stormcarved Testament to proc your Storm Totem while you are in Spriggan form. So before you get access to Stormcarved Testament, and there's a big disclaimer here, right? Before you have access to, you will need to swap to human form to summon your Storm Totem. So keep this in mind if you want to use this build. This is going to be my starter build before I swap into Crows. You can start leveling with Thorn Totem as soon as level 4. So this is a build where you can basically play with from start to finish and completely clear the end game with it as well. Okay, that being said, you need Stormcarved Testament. There's a few changes now that we make to the build. Previously, I was using a staff. Now I'm going to go with Tempest Maw and a shield, because Storm Totem stacks, Storm Totem can scale with Chance to Shock and Chance to Shock attackers. And then the Coral Aegis shield has a huge roll of 430% Chance to Shock attackers on the shield itself, with the guaranteed chance of getting 1 LP slammed onto your shield. You get another 220% Chance to Shock attackers, which is a huge amount of flat damage. It will get 2 flat damage per 10 shock, which is absolutely massive for Storm Totem. Not only this, but the build scales in a way that is very convenient, because Attunement will scale flat damage for Gathering Storm for Storm Bolts. It will also scale increased damage for your Storm Totem, and it will also scale mana, which is a more multiplier for Storm Bolts as well. So Attunement is just excellent. You want to scale mana. You want to scale minion damage, of course, and totems, totem damage, because your Storm Totem are also minions, and you know all the totems in last Epoch are minions. You get access to Summon Spriggan. Your main form of recovery will come in the form of your healing totems in Spriggan form. They will constantly heal you as you summon them, and on top of this, your Summon Spriggan gives an aura, which he has an aura which heals you as well over time. He also gives you a good amount of flat dodge. He gives you critical strike avoidance. Just an excellent support overall. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We also added the Seed of Yggdrasil because you get access to damage dealt to mana before health. So that way, because Rage is considered as mana for this, and you are constantly refilling your mana with your summoning of Thorn Totems, then you'll have no problem having you won't have any downsides, basically, because if you get hit, you don't care about your Rage, since you are refilling it pretty much instantly. So let's go over the build right now. I'll go over the skills, the passive, the gearing sections, and a couple of frequently asked questions afterwards. So we are permanently in Spriggan form. In this tree, the first thing you're going to want to do is have your healing totem cast Thorn. So it will benefit from the Thorn Totems tree. And then what you want to do is cast always 3 totems. This, when it's going to interact with the tree from Summon Thorn Totem, with the node that gives you 12 mana gain when you unsummon a totem. So this works when you go over the limit that you have, over your limit of totems. If you summon new ones, they are considered unsummoned, and then it gives you the Rage back. So this is your main form of Rage Sustain here, these two together. You're going to rush this one, then you're going to rush the armor. We get access to a second Spriggan, get more healing from our healing totems, and then we're just going to take the Pierce chance to be able to proc your Stormcarved Testament more often when you cast Spirit Thorns. So when you want to have big single target, you cast a few Spirit Thorns, and then it will summon your Storm Totem for you. So that is the main thing in Spriggan form. Summon Thorn Totem. This is your main clear ability. Basically, this is the one that you will be able to spam. So of course, we talked about Mirrors of Eterra to regain your mana, which is going to be transferred to Rage. The rest of the stuff here is basically just damage, crit chance damage, and 1 pierce. So one thing to note is that in Season 2, they have buffed this significantly, with mainly buffs also to Ancient Power. There's a very nice interaction here I want to talk about. It's the interaction of this node of minus cast speed. So this reduces the cast speed at which you summon the totem. And this, alongside the idols for increased cast speed for totems, that will enable you to have a summoning speed for your healing totems in Spriggan form, that will let them stay alive for long enough so that they can heal you before you unsummon them with going over the limit. So what I mean by this is that when you summon a healing totem, it doesn't heal you right away. It has a certain cooldown on the healing, and it also casts thorns in between, so that by reducing your own cast speed, not having any cast speed on any of your weapons, and also getting your totems to have an increased cast speed, this enables you to just spam healing totems, and they will guarantee healing you every time, and you won't ever not have at least 1 heal from a cast of healing totems. This is very important for survivability, and this just makes the build that much more enjoyable in terms of recovery, because if not, in the past, you used to have to basically delay your Thorn Totem cast to be able to get the recovery from your healing totems. So this is a really, really nice little optimization that I figured out, and I'm really happy with that one. It just makes the build that much more smoother to play. So that basically covers Thorn Totem. Next, for our big single target ability. By the way, this is excellent damage. The build does over 10 million DPS with the endgame setup. So this is considered very good. One of the main nodes that we're scaling here is going to be Fulgurite Core. It gives us spell lightning damage per 10% shock chance, or chance to shock attackers. So that is why, in combination with the shield here, with Coral Aegis, this is giving us a really, really good amount of flat damage. Not only this, but we're also getting the flat damage from the Storm Bolts, because we are scaling Storm Bolts with attunement. But in here, we're going for this. And then, of course, we are using Unmatched Storms to make Storm Totem be able to cast Gathering Storm, cast a Storm Bolt. This patch has given it a little nerf, but it's still very, very good. So the rest of the nodes are here for all of the more multipliers. And we're also using Thunder Totem. This synergizes really, really well with Spriggan form, since you're going to cast, you have basically an infinite amount of healing totems that you can consume to, you consume five of them to give your Storm Totem 100% more damage. So it will deal double damage when you summon him, because you will always have these totems. So that pretty much covers Storm Totem. Gathering Storm here. We're just grabbing all of the more multipliers. We are grabbing this node here, Tempest Weapon, because this will give us a certain amount of flat damage based on our melee damage on our equipped axe. And since Tempest Maw is an axe, it's very easy to get with LP. Since it's only 30 legendary potential, it's only 30 LPL. You're going to want a big roll of mana here, and the rest you want to have flat spell damage, right? Because mana, let's remember, let's explain it. Excited Bolt consumes mana to deal more damage based on your current mana, and so this is why this is so good. Stacking mana, stacking attunement, refilling our rage with Spriggan form. The build just fits all so well together. So we're grabbing all of the more multipliers, and then we have some extra points into area and into some more shock chance. Summon Spriggan. This one is a classic on any Primalist builds. If you can't fit it in, you kind of want to, but then again, he can be annoying because he can die all the time. If you don't build him with minion health or minion dodge and some stats, some defensive stats like this. Mainly, we're getting this one for the base critical strike chance and the critical strike avoidance. This applies to all allies, so including you and including your totems. So this is very nice to help us cap crit. Flat spell damage. The most healing we can get from his aura. And then this note here, dodge rating per attunement. One thing I want to note here is that yes, you can also snapshot him if you want, but you really don't have to. If you do want to snapshot him though, it is all explained here what snapshotting is in Last Epoch, equipping another set of gear, and then swapping it to re-equip some defensive stats instead, because when your minions are summoned, they are summoned with the stats that you have equipped currently. And even if you swap gear, they keep those stats. And how to snapshot properly with stuff like Jorah Sardiles, which you can dash to get triple the stats on the rings, and then summon your minion, and then you can basically swap your rings for something else, and that minion will keep the stats from the Jorah Sardile that were tripled during that time. All right, so that pretty much covers Spriggan companions. The rest of the nodes are just for health and tankiness, and you can grab the one in Entangled Roots if you want to. That will just give you some sort of CC. If you want some additional skill and tips, you can also read it here. So here we talk about before you're getting Jorah's Obsession with Armor Shred on hit, you can grab in the Thorn Totems tree these nodes here to shred armor, because on any hit-based build, shredding armor is very, very important. Even if you can only get like 5, 10, 20 stacks, it is a must on any hit build because it's a multiplier for damage. Summon Thorn Totem, there is Storm Rider. If you want to map at crazy speeds, you can remove some points from some damaging nodes in Storm Totem to get up to 40% movement speed pretty much at all time. So that is very, very nice if you want to do some speed farming. And yeah, here I talk about a little bit into snapshotting for the Spriggan, and also not invest into cast speed to allow you to heal from your healing totems all the time. In the passive tree, pretty straightforward stuff. You're going from some totem, minions, tankiness, you're going for attunement, and stuff like that. So we're going for attunement, health, increased health, minion damage, less damage taken when you are on low health, so below 35%. Totem spell damage, flat damage, and tripled while using an axe. We are using Tempest Maw, so this is applied at triple the value. And then your totems are immune to poison damage, and then increased totem health. You don't have to take Rotbane for increased totem health. You don't have to do 5 points here, but it's very, very nice to give your Storm Totem an extra amount of health so that he doesn't die immediately as you summon him. Your healing totems will heal your Storm Totem, but this thing is on an 8-second cooldown. If you don't want to have to go back to human form, I strongly suggest either investing 1 affix on your gear for minion health, or grabbing a node like this one here in the tree. Next up, we have the Shaman tree. What is very nice on this build is that you don't have to build elemental res, so that means fire, lightning, cold res, or physical res, because they are all covered by your many totems, by the Shaman Mastery, and also having this node here, Protective Circle, which gives you ele res per totem and physical res per totem. So you don't have to worry about any of that. Then you have the belt that gives you full capped poison res entirely. Void res is covered here by this unique and that unique as well. And then you have 1 blessing for necrotic res. So very, very easy to gear up this build. It is my favorite starter of any class, basically. But I mean, I am a big Thorn Totem enjoyer. Okay. Let's go into this Shaman tree. We have attunement and penetration. Pretty straightforward. It's just damage. One travel point into getting these 2 travel points for spell lightning damage and shared lightning pen per 5 attunement. So this is very good since we are stacking attunement as well. More attunement. This is pretty important. Getting haste chance when you summon a totem. Since the playstyle is basically just summoning totems all the time, you will have guaranteed haste with this and 1 or 2 idols with the same things. And this also gives your totems attack and cast speed. We talked about protective circle to cap your res. Then you get points into attunement here. These are just additional points, some of the last points that you get. Beastmaster, we are getting less damage taken from nearby enemies. You have to take this on any primalist. It's pretty much a must. 5 points into Boar Heart to get whenever you will get hit by a melee attack. This will give you a 15% damage reduction buff. Then you get Call the Pack, travel points into the Chase. This one we take for minion cast speed. As I talked earlier, we're stacking cast speed on our totems to get access to guaranteed healing from healing totems, as well as increasing their damage. So it's like scaling offense and defense is always very good. On the Druid tree, grabbing some endurance and armor, all the attunement and strength. Strength is very good. Don't overlook armor in your builds. So in this particular build especially, you know, you're getting increased strength, increased armor from strength, and you're going to try to get as much flat armor as possible. And then the nice thing about this is that when you are in Spriggan form, you're getting a good amount of flat armor while you just transform in Spriggan form as well. So this is very, very good. And then again, attack and cast speed for you and your minions. But this one, it doesn't matter. Even if it gives a little bit of cast speed to you, it does work when you have the proper setup for getting guaranteed heals from your totems. So the gameplay is very simple. You summon your Spriggan, you shapeshift into Spriggan form, and then you spam healing totems, which then they cast thorns. And then when you have 5 thorn totems active, you summon Storm Totem via Stormcarved Testament, and that's going to be your big single target damage. Of course, you need to continue spamming healing totems afterwards to keep your rage up so that it gets all the benefits from Excited Bolts, which is a more multiplier scaling with your mana. So that pretty much covers the gameplay. So now we're going to go over the gearing sections. We already talked about Seed and how this is insanely good because we have access to infinite rage, Mantle of Pale Ox, best body armor for any minion build. It's not even close. Strength, movement speed, increased health, DR, the guaranteed 1 LP on it. Like it's just amazing. The weapon, Tempest Maw, we saw how that interacted with the Gathering Storm tree, giving us even more flat damage, and it just has really good stats and easy to get with multiple LP. We got Coral Aegis. This one is farmed from Lagon, and this one is amazing to give Storm Totem some more flat damage. It is a shield, so you will block, you will take less damage. It's just this one again, tankiness and defense at the same time, always good. Legacy of the Quiet Forest, easy void res, easy poison res. It's an armor base as well. Well, not the base, but like it has a roll of armor on it, and 50 LP, very easy to get with 2 LP. Try to get some health here. Foot of the Mountain, these are slow boots, but you know, they give us all attributes. They give us a huge amount of endurance. So these belts are the best for the build, but feel free to, you know, if you want to use some faster boots, there are other alternatives. But although this I think is the most well-rounded one that lets us cap our endurance and just be a little bit more defensive, right? Joa's Obsession. This one is a pair of gloves that always drop at 1 LP. They drop from the Temporal Sanctum, so if you go kill Jolra, and then the stats that these items have will apply to your minions as well. So you're grabbing Armor Shred on hit, so that your Storm Totem, your Thorn Totem, all of your minions will shred armor, and so you'll get the maximum benefit and the maximum multiplier of damage from that. So this is just best in slot here. Stormcarved Testament, we talked about this one. Really nice stats, but also it lets you summon a Storm Totem without being in human form. So this is what kind of enables the build. And a big staple for minion builds as well, Death Rattle. You see here I got tier 7 increased dodge rating. That is because you can get a really, really good amount of flat dodge from Summon Spriggan if you get as much attunement as possible on the build. So having this one roll of increased dodge rating will increase your survivability drastically, since you can get up to like 50, even 60% chance to dodge, which if you dodge a hit, you just take no damage at all. So, you know, taking damage only on one of 2 hits is amazing for tankiness. On the idols, there's a couple of choices here. I've added mana prefix here. It's an option, but you can also use 2 with chance to gain haste for 3 seconds when you summon a totem, so that you are guaranteed haste. But I feel with like over 60% chance, that is enough. So mana will just be an extra multiplier. We get minion crit chance on pretty much all of these suffixes for our idols to be able to cap the crit chance of summon Storm Totem mainly. And then we can also get armor while transformed with the new affixes, and rage gain per second while transformed. It's going to help you sustain your rage if you cannot summon Thorn Totem, because you have to avoid, you know, a little bit, because Storm Totem will consume quite a bit of mana with excited bolts. The other one is just basically endurance threshold against shocked enemies. Not much we can get here. So feel free to just experiment a little bit here. Next up, on the Heretical Ornate idols, we have cast speed for totems, very important. These ones can also get you increased movement speed while transform and increased movement speed. So it's just amazing. If you manage to get 2 of the to get these 2 stats at tier 7, that's going to be a whopping 15% movement speed per idol. That is just absolutely amazing, and will make the build feel that much more comfy, because movement speed is the best stat in the entire game. Increase health, minion critical strike avoidance. This is how we're going to cap critical strike avoidance, alongside with 1 small affix here. The rest comes from our Summon Spriggan, which gives us 72%. And then again, rage gain per second while transformed, with extra armor, and health and mana. So this is pretty good for the idols. In the blessing, we're grabbing health, we're grabbing mana, we're grabbing necrotic res, increased armor, and chance to apply frailty on hit. This is only for the end game setup, because on the aspirational, if you manage to get chance to apply frailty on your Jolra's Obsession Glove 2 LP, then you definitely want to go for the flat armor, 100%. But until then, it's very unreliable to get, you know, you could decide to go into chance to apply frailty on the Jolra Glove instead of armor shred, and keep the points into Thorn Totem, to shred armor. But yeah, it is, you know, frailty is mandatory on any build. If you don't have frailty, you're missing out on a really, really important source of damage reduction. So that pretty much covers the entire gearing setup. If you want to read through it, there is all the written form here. Then we have our scaling stats, offense, defense. You can read through this as well. What is snapshotting in last epoch? We talked about it a little bit earlier. You definitely don't need snapshotting on this. This is only for those who want to really, really min-max the potential of Summon Spriggan. So you can go ahead and read this. There's also an optimized snapshotting gear setup for the... If you want to go hard, you definitely can go hard with like increased healing effectiveness on your idols. You can have minion critical strike avoidance here. So they are summoned with these stats. You can have also minion, so this is an extra one. Basically, this one would be in like prediction that you want to attempt Aberrant or something like this, because he deals a lot of void damage. And then it's all optimized to get as much attunement as possible, with all of the proper legendaries in place to get a lot of attunement. Yeah, if you want to optimize snapshotting, you can. You definitely don't have to do this, okay? So that pretty much covers it, guys. This short summary here, if you want to read it as well. Hope you enjoyed the build. It's better than ever before. It actually makes sense now that Upheaval Totem was nerfed, so there's no more one-shotting, but this still has great damage potential, and it's really, really smooth. It's probably one of the best starters in the game that just you can play from level 4 up to level 100. With a very, very smooth progression curve. Hope you like it. I will be starting this for sure before swapping into Crows once I get my vessel set up and everything. But yeah, that pretty much covers Totem Shaman. I hope you like it, and I'll see you guys all in the next guide.